Hey there, people. So, 20,000 subscribers we hit this weekend that just passed, and 5 million views the weekend before. That's kind of almost the same time. Not quite, but I was holding off to sort of celebrate the two together. And, well, I'd like to tell you that I had something really cool to celebrate. To be honest, I don't. I've been really busy and I really don't have a lot of ideas. I'm not that kind of creative. So we're just going to have a chat. I'm going to tell you about a lot. There's been a lot happening though around here on the channel and otherwise as well. So we're going to talk about that. And first of all, for those who haven't noticed yet, probably you've all noticed by now, but we finally got new channel art. And I think it looks amazing. That is courtesy of a guy who goes by the name of Black Salamander. So shout out to him. He really did an excellent job. I really like the new channel art. I hope you like it as much as I do. I'm astounded, actually. It's amazing. And yeah, speaking of new channel stuff, I do want to remind you guys, for those who are interested in watching me play other games with my friends, I have started a second channel as well. It's currently called Grobe Team, which is really just so that you guys would know that it's still me over there. I might change that name. I might do some rebranding and stuff. It's very small. It's just started. And it needs new artwork as well, but yeah, I might change that name and stuff. But anyway, it's linked from my channel in the featured channels section. If you do want to watch me play games with my friends, other games, not Terraria, then go check that out, and hope you like it. But most of you, of course, are here for Terraria, and don't worry. Basically, I've focused this channel on that almost entirely for now. Well, and for the foreseeable future. That is, you know, why most of you have come to this channel, and so I'm absolutely going to honor and respect that, and will focus on that for, you know, the benefit of all of you. I will also probably occasionally, when I come up with something else in terms of guides to do, I probably will do some guides for other games as well. I do have 2 or 3 other guides for other games that are reasonably popular. The vast majority of my popular content is Terraria. And of course I do things like Steam sale videos occasionally as well. So I'll probably still do some other guides once in a while, but mostly this is a Terraria channel because that's what you're here for and that's what you like. So that's what we're doing. And I'm sticking to that schedule. Tuesdays, I'm currently doing my expert playthrough. I will continue to do playthroughs probably on Tuesdays, and Thursdays, most Thursdays I'm doing guides, and currently I try to do every third Thursday usually, multiplayer episode. If I get really tight for time, I might throw those in sooner or whatever. Yeah, because that's a little easier. The guides do take a lot of work, but don't worry, I'm going to keep doing them. I still have tons of ideas, and there's so much. I mean, that's the great thing about Terraria, and I love it. And I came to the game relatively late, but in some ways I'm almost glad I did, in terms of, like, I still have so much to do in the game. You know, I think if you look at the big Terraria YouTubers who are bigger than I am, a lot of them seem to have kind of burnt out on it a bit. You know, some of them are still going, but others have quit entirely, and some just don't publish very often. I've still got tons of stuff, so don't worry. I have more than I can do, and that's a good thing in a lot of ways. I just can keep cranking stuff out. But also, for those who are interested, there is a Discord server for this channel, and it's linked in the About section. If you don't see it linked anywhere else, check the About section for the channel. I do have a Discord server, and the people who are on there have been at me a little bit to let more people know, because obviously I haven't publicized it a lot. I don't put it in the description of my videos or anything, but it is linked on the channel. So if you're on Discord, if you want to join the Discord server, check that out as well. And another thing that I'm looking at for the channel is to set up the channel memberships, which they're still saying that I can enable that for the channel, because yeah, they're restricting it more and more to, like, channels that have 100,000 subscribers or more. But I don't know if it's because I'm a gaming channel or because they had offered it to me earlier. It says I can enable that, so I want to do that. And I don't expect you all to sign up or anything, but for those who do want to provide a little support, I'll be honest, I could use the money. And speaking of things, the state of things, state of the channel and the state of my life, I would say so kind of a status update, I guess you would say. I'm hopeful but reserved, which I think is a lot like the Terraria community as a whole. We're kind of collectively hopeful but reserved because we have such exciting things that are supposed to be coming, and at the same time, you know, in some cases we've been waiting a long time. Of course, there's the mobile update, which everybody on mobile has certainly been waiting a long time for. There's 1.3.6 supposed to be coming to PC, and they've been teasing that, and that's really exciting, but no idea when, you know, those things are coming, the Switch release. Who knows when they're actually going to be released? And I think they've intentionally stopped you know, publishing dates and things because there was, you know, such a big hubbub or kerfuffle or whatever you want to call it around the PS4 and Xbox One updates, and there were issues when they were finally released. So I'm sure they want to get it right, and so, you know, there's delays on that. There's quality control. There's a lot that I'm sure that they're busy with, and yeah, it's kind of the same thing for me in some ways, that I have such big plans. I have so much planned for this channel. You know, as I say, there's more than I can actually do. I can't really get everything done at once, and if I did, that would ruin the channel anyway, because if I put everything out at once, you'd have nothing else coming after that. So I'm sort of pacing myself. I'm sort of like trying to progress along with the channel, and obviously we're hitting huge milestones like 20,000 subscribers and 5 million views. Those are such huge numbers. And at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, where is it really going at this point? And, you know, I have a plan for content, you know, for as long as I can imagine. And yet at the same time, to be honest, the channel, the revenue, the views and stuff have actually slowed down a little bit, not too much. But for almost the first time, it's like the growth is sort of on pause, or even it's like a little step backwards. I think I mentioned previously that June was a record month, and June is still the record month, actually, to be honest. I was expecting, because last year, you know, June was a big month, and then July was an even bigger month. And July had set the record for some time after that, but that made sense because that's a summer break, and that's when you expect. You know, there's lots of people watching and all that. But July and August this year actually were a step back from June, which is okay. You know, obviously we're still growing, we're still hitting milestones, but yeah, views and revenue and stuff were a little bit down, and that actually makes some sense because June I had the big Steam sale video. Actually did surprisingly well this time around. I did not expect it to do that well. And so we had that, and that was a big part of the boost to the channel in June. But yeah, I mean, to have a bit of a, and see, that's what I've always tried to avoid, is getting expectations. But I had this pattern for so long of the channel growing sort of predictably and seeing these patterns certain times of the years and stuff, the year and everything. And July and August were one of those times of year where I got used to, you know, okay, it's going to go, you know, that much better. And it actually went a little bit worse. And it's still good, but it's a little bit worse. So it's kind of like, okay, kind of have to take a step back, you know. But obviously I'm going to keep cranking out guides. I do honestly try to time them a little bit so that some of the better content comes around the times that I expect that things are going to go a little better anyway. And so there's that. Definitely a bit of a factor there as well, that, you know, I'll probably put out some stuff that might not be quite as popular in September, October particularly, and then I'll, you know, try to ramp it up towards the end of the year because the holiday season is huge. But it's all stuff that I was going to do anyway. So it's and some of it is like I started my expert bosses guide series, and you know, the first episode wasn't that popular, which was not surprising because it was the Eye of Cthulhu. Everybody's beaten that already. And the next one is, you know, I want to do them in order. So I want to do King Slime as well. And I know that's not going to be that popular, which is fine. But you have to get started somewhere, and I want to do them in order, and I want to do them all. So I'll probably put that one out soon. And similarly, like a few weapon guides that I know aren't going to be as popular, like there's a boomerangs guide that I've been wanting to do. I'll probably do that shortly. Those will probably be my next two, to be honest. And I don't know what I'm going to do after that, but similar idea that you know, some of the content that is between me and some of the better content between where we're at now and some of the stuff I plan to do after that, because I want to cover certain things before I cover the other things that make sense after that. So there's some things that I've been sort of had on hold a little bit because I wanted to put out the best content possible over the summer. And yeah, even like the last guide I put out last week, I figured, okay, one big last hurrah for the summer, so to speak. Like I wanted to, you know, kick the fall off or the back to school season off with a bit of a bang there. And that one has been pretty popular, but I can already see, you know, the September mindset, the September pattern starting to take hold. And it's funny because over the summer, weekdays tend to get basically the same kind of views as weekends, which is interesting. Whereas the rest of the year, and I'm seeing that already, you know, we get big views on the weekends and views dip over the weekdays. And that's just kind of a little behind the scenes for you there, you know, planning things out, I guess. And I want the popular ones to get the views at the popular times because that also gets them out to more people. And so that's a factor as well. So just to give you an idea of why I do some things the way I do, but I have so many ideas and so much content planned that we're talking a year, 2 years minimum just with what I know that I can do now. And so don't worry, we're not going anywhere. But as I say, I may do some guides for other games as well. I don't like being completely dependent on one game, which is also part of the reason I split out the second channel to put my games with friends stuff out there separately, to give it its own audience, as I said before, so that it can find its own purpose and its own place and its own audience and be its own thing. And I want to do both. So I'm doing both, which is a challenge too, because I'm finding my business has suffered a little bit, and I've obviously been putting a lot of time into this YouTube channel. My business has suffered. I do need to put a little work back into my business, and that's another thing that I want to do over the next 2 or 3 months. Try to get some things done there again, but don't worry, I'm not going to change my schedule. I've kind of figured it out as best as I can for now. I'm basically doing business in the morning and YouTube in the afternoon, so it seems to work well enough. It's a distraction from both things, but there's only so much time in the day, so trying to do both things requires that I split the time, and that's what I've done. Seems to be working well enough, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm not taking myself away from either thing. Don't worry, I'm here, and I want you to know that, you know, if you look back at my history, I've kept a very consistent schedule, and now that I've gone to this new schedule, I'm hoping I can still keep that new schedule, although it's a lot more demanding. So now, you know, it used to be I did 2 videos a week on the main channel, and that was it, and I stuck to that schedule for 2 or 3 years straight. And now I'm doing 2 videos a week on the main channel and 3 videos a week on the other channel. So obviously that's more demanding, and that's why I'm having this little moment of thinking about things a little, just because this new schedule is way more demanding, but it's not getting me anywhere right away. I had hoped, and that's why the original, you know, why I originally talked about experimenting with doing 5 videos a week at the beginning of the summer, and originally that was all on the main channel, until I decided it was a better idea to split it up. And that's why I talked about it as like sort of an experiment, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm gonna stick with it for the foreseeable future anyway. I have to keep enough content, honestly, for the second channel, the Games with Friends stuff. I do have to find enough content and make enough content and find enough times and excuses to play with my friends to have enough content for that second channel. So if anything's going to suffer, it's going to be that. But I don't think it's going to. I think we're good. But I will have to keep at it. That's a challenge. But and growing that channel is a challenge. And there's various things I want to do for that to help that take off. But nothing's going to take me away from the content on the main channel anyway. We've got playthroughs to do on Tuesdays. Honestly, that's pretty easy. And the guides on Thursdays, that's pretty tough. That's the toughest thing that I do for YouTube at all any given week. But, you know, that's what you're here for. And that's why we've done this well. So that's not going to stop. Anyway, I'm just, you know, I like to give you the behind the scenes explanations and stuff. And I like sharing, you know, some of how this all goes. So if you want to know the story and you just got here, look back at some of my other subscriber updates. I've talked about, you know, how to do YouTube. I think that was my 8,000. I went into that after a while, so that was interesting. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to drone on too much today. I've basically talked about most of the things I wanted to talk about. But thank you, and I think I forgot to say that at the beginning of this video, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's actually the thing I like to emphasize in these videos. I just excitedly got into all the things I wanted to talk about, but thank you. That's the most important thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with the second channel. I'm committed to it. I've had thoughts about bringing it back to the main channel, but I don't think that makes sense. I want it to be its own thing, and I think it should have its own audience, so I'm going to keep that separate. I'm also thinking, though, like, should I do... The problem is I almost want to do additional content for the main channel, like some playthroughs, just solo by myself playthroughs, and, like, have the main channel be partly like, okay, this is my channel where I do things by myself. You know, playthroughs, obviously Terraria and the guides are the focus. But I've thought about doing some other playthroughs. The problem there is I just don't have time. I can't take on doing more videos. And I talked about doing a third video a week on the main channel to hope that might help boost the main channel, and I talked about doing another Terraria video because I've talked about getting into mods and stuff, which I haven't done yet. But I don't think I have time. There's a lot of pressure on my time right now. I have business and 2 YouTube channels and a family. I have 2 kids. So I don't think I can do it, honestly. I think I'm doing as much as I can right now, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to make it work. So just to let you know where things are at, but do let me know your thoughts, your ideas. I always want to hear from you and hear your feedback, what you think, what you want to see, all that kind of stuff. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. And otherwise, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is, it means everything to me. So you're all incredible and you've been amazing, and thank you. So that's it for now. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time. 25,000, I guess. See you there. Bye for now.